When you hear the name Benjamin Graham, what comes to mind? Right? The father of value investing, the guy who taught Warren Buffett everything he knows. He's basically the patron saint of safe, smart, long-term investing.
And because of that reputation, we've all kind of bought into this idea that he absolutely hated speculators. I mean, despised them. That he just saw them as, reckless gamblers who were the total opposite of everything he stood for. Well, that story, it's completely wrong. And the real truth is so much more interesting, and it's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, for decades. So, what if I told you that the very first chapter of the world's most famous investing book holds a secret that pretty much everyone misses? A secret that could totally change how you look at investing and even speculating. All right, let's get into it. See, Graham wasn't just writing some fluffy intro. Nope, he was taking a scalpel to the two most important and maybe most misunderstood words in all of finance: investor and speculator. Now, for most of us, the difference seems pretty simple, right? It's all about what you're buying. You buy safe stuff like bonds or real estate, you're an investor. You buy risky stuff like tech stocks or options, you're a speculator. It's a nice, neat little box. But Graham says that way of thinking is completely wrong, a total dead end. For him, it has absolutely nothing to do with what you buy. It's all about how you buy it. And this is where we get to the core of it all. This is his exact definition: an investment operation. Now, pay close attention to that word, operation. He's not saying it's a thing, like a stock. He's saying it's a process. It's a set of actions you take. And this operation has 3 very specific rules. You have to meet all of them. First, thorough analysis. You've actually done your homework. Second, safety of principle. You're pretty confident you're not going to lose your shirt. And third, an adequate return. Notice he doesn't say amazing or get rich quick, just adequate. So, here's the kicker. This is where it all gets turned upside down. Following his rules, you could buy the riskiest, hottest tech stock on the planet, but if you've done your homework and it meets those 3 conditions, guess what? You're an investor. And on the flip side, you could buy the safest government bond, but if you just bought it on a whim, well, Graham would call you a speculator. And that right there, that redefinition, it opens the door to the most radical, most overlooked part of his entire philosophy. The part that all the summaries seem to leave out. The idea of the intelligent speculator. I mean, look at this. He says it right here, in his own words. There is intelligent speculation as there is intelligent investing. He's not saying it's bad. He's saying there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. He knew it was a vital part of how the market works. So you see, Graham didn't have a problem with speculation itself. What he couldn't stand was the confusion. His real enemy was the person who was fooling themselves, the person who thought they were investing when they were really just gambling. The biggest sin wasn't speculating, it was lying to yourself about it. So, how do you know if you're being an unintelligent speculator? Well, Graham lays out 3 big warning signs. Number 1, you're confusing it for investing. You're telling yourself you did the research, but really you're just chasing a hot tip. Number 2, you're risking way too much. We're talking about money you absolutely cannot afford to lose. And number 3, you're mixing everything together. Your serious money and your fun money are all in the same pot. And that last point, that mixing of funds, leads us to Graham's single most practical piece of advice. It's a solution so simple, but honestly, it's so powerful it can save you from yourself. Here it is. Build a wall. If you want to speculate, that's totally fine. Graham gives you his blessing. But you absolutely have to keep that money and that mindset completely separate from your real investment funds. We're talking separate accounts, separate goals, a whole different mindset. So let's say you follow what some call the Daniel method. You put 90% of your capital in what we'll call your investment account. This is your serious money, managed with thorough analysis, safety first. Then you take the other 10% and you put it in your speculative account. With this money, you go in with your eyes wide open, fully accepting that you could lose all of it. The wall is built. But why is this so important? Because when you mix them, your brain gets scrambled. It doesn't give you the best of both worlds, it gives you the worst. That little speculative bet that goes down, suddenly your brain starts calling it a long-term investment. And that solid, boring investment, you might panic and sell it because your speculator brain is screaming at you. You end up with the worst habits of both and none of the discipline. Okay, so if this is such a powerful idea, why do we call it the lost chapter? Why isn't this the first thing everyone talks about when they mention Benjamin Graham? The answer, honestly, is kind of simple and a little sad. Nuance doesn't sell. Simple, dogmatic rules are easy to package and repeat. Buy cheap stocks is a great headline. Be ruthlessly honest with yourself about your intentions and separate your capital. Yeah, that's not going to go viral, is it?
And because we love simple rules, the message got twisted. Everyone started to believe the enemy was speculation.
But it's not. The real enemy, the thing Graham was warning us about, isn't speculation. The enemy is not knowing which one you're doing.
So you need to be honest with yourself. Before you make your next move, ask yourself, am I truly investing here? Have I done thorough analysis? Am I protecting my principal? Is the return adequate? If the answer isn't a clear yes to all three, then you're speculating. And you know what? That's okay. It's totally fine, as long as you admit it to yourself. So before your next trade, before you click that button, will you know which side of the wall you're on? Because for Graham, being an intelligent investor isn't about being a genius. It's about being honest.